farm up. SWATAA.
Oh yeah.
SWATAA. I'm gonna mix it up here with you coming into it. Hey everybody, welcome Sally Watanabe. SWATAA. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Just a little mix up. Just get on down here, wake the farm up. Sally Watanabe. Get into the performance and activism embodied in the one uniform suit. Wake the farm up and dream.
We're dreaming. You switched it up and I love that.
Wake the farm up and Durian Dream. With DJ Elfkin.
Oh, elves on the beat. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Wake
love
the
it.
farm up.
Yeah, what's up? Get up here, Elf. Get up here with Sally and do your thing.
Yeah, appreciate y'all coming out here. That was like, everybody's super excited. They're getting together here. So
I know. I was dancing. I was like, I wish you could have seen the smile on my face, just like vibing out with all the I got some elves over here too, so we were all dancing.
dreamy dancing elves. Yeah, there's like people like that have teleported into our teleporting balconies are full, all the things,
Yeah. All the friends, all the homies.
Sally and the elf, we go back to, this Cobby Walled stage at the Soulshine Reverie summer camp where we were helping with the Soul Patch, doing all kinds of adventures, running around, sharing permaculture flows and different concepts, infusing music and activism all together, all in the same time. And I was very amazed by some of the stuff that we created there, very improv.
Yeah. Oh man, what a special space, a special group of people. I really can't say enough about how how much I needed to find that space and that group of people. I feel like I came across summer camp. I don't even know how really, but it really felt like coming there just like was like coming home to a bunch of family that I had never met before, but it was just like finding my people who care about the planet and sustainability and sharing knowledge and getting into conversations about how we can grow our communities and heal our soil and ourselves with the food that we eat and just give it all back to the earth, and just doing so like on such a community level, and then taking that level of also inspiring other people who are maybe not as familiar with it, but you know, you go to a music festival, people are in this more open mindset, and so really using that to draw them in with, I mean, such interesting, we had such interesting workshops and conversations that you especially help facilitate. And so to me, that's a space that I know I will always, if I can, I will always be back there, just because it's truly like, I don't know, just a vision that I have for the future where people can really come together in these spaces and, you know, collaborate not only with art and music, but with ideas and talking about, you know, how to fix some real issues in the world, and in a time where like there is just so much going on. I think one of the things that helps me just feel a little bit better about it all is like knowing that I'm not alone, and it is very much a group community effort that takes everyone and all their talents and strengths and passions and creative ideas. So yeah, we go back.
That's so cool. Yeah, tell us like where you come from. That is so, like, I love the reflection that you just shared. Like, I'm so there with you, like feeling it. Like, that's such the way that you described it, you know, really brings in this like feel I have of like artist community activism. You know, it's like people are creating art, creating moments, creating space, and, you know, bringing that together into these forms and these, like, you totally get it. And I'm really curious, like, where you came from, like what kind of like brought you into that kind of space. Like, was there something along the way that you remember that, like, you know, you're talking about creating the space for people to find these certain connections within themselves. Like, was there something that helped do that for you along the way?
Oh yeah. I mean, that brought up like a few memories, kind of, I think, from like a personal standpoint and from like a music standpoint and from a community standpoint. But I'll kind of talk just briefly about the different perspectives, because I think I think everything is connected in life, like non-duality. Look into that more. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, for me, music was something I guess going way back, like I was forced to take piano lessons at a young age and like didn't really like it, so was turned off to music for a long time until I was like 17. And then one of my best friends played guitar and sang, and I was like so inspired by watching her. I was like literally just like went out and got a guitar and started noodling around. But it wasn't really until like that I was going through my first breakup that I really started getting into songwriting and just like using it to pour out my emotions and feel things. Like, it still is, like, I think music is one of the best ways that people can process things. And for me, like, I was writing those songs, I never even thought like I would share them with people, but I think the more that I have shared them, and, you know, I started kind of just doing like open mics and stuff like that, anytime I would get like feedback, or people would come up to me and say like, dang, like I really felt that, like, you know, those lyrics, like I just relate to that. Like that to me was like the most just like alive feeling that I would kind of get of like a genuine connection with someone. And I think I started realizing like, oh yeah, that's what like music is about. Like, especially now I originally was just, you know, playing everything by myself. Like I didn't have other people to really play with, but it definitely has grown. And I've been lucky enough to kind of have a band come together recently, and just
Nice.
playing with them, playing with music with other people, like sharing music with other people, and getting, you know, my friends' bands involved and getting them to play music, and just having it be a whole community level is really like what it's all about for me. Like that is where the experience is at. And then you take on like this other layer of just like nature. And I mean, I just fucking, I don't know if I can curse, but like I love nature. Yeah.
Yeah, we're real. It's in our nature, you know, and like you're using it in an expression that like, you know, contemporary in our modern time, like adds like big exclamation marks all around it, you know. So yeah,
I'm speaking in all caps right now and I cannot emphasize it enough that, and it's like we are nature too. I mean, we are no different than the trees and the soil and the dirt. Like humans, I mean, I could go off on this, but like just the way we think we've become so separate from it, and like to a degree we really have separated ourselves with this like society and screens and technology and just artificial lighting, and it's totally messed up our cyclical nature. But I remember distinctly this one hike that I went on in Shenandoah Valley my senior year of college, and it was like at the point where I was kind of having a crisis on just like, what do I do with my life? Like I just, you know, like what can I do that matters with my life? And so yeah, on this hike, basically just got to the summit and it was fall, and I like looked into the valley and there's just like this sea of changing colors, like mostly still green, but you can like just feel the like change is in the air. And like the feeling of like being at the top and like looking down below, I mean, it's like you experience it in a lot of situations in nature, but it really gives you that sense of like, whoa, I am really like a part of this all. And so the message that came through in that moment, which was very strong, was like, you need to I don't want to say dedicate, but like to me it was just realize that like I care so deeply about like whatever I do, having that mission be towards basically saving the planet, but like connecting people to the planet also. And I think there's so many ways to do that. I'm still trying to figure it out. And I would say like my music has kind of been maybe like separate a bit from that, or I've been trying to like bridge the two together more. But I think like just through the whole like aspects of like storytelling and like as an artist, like I really want, I think for me it's like been more so like, and that's the thing where like there's the saying, it's like you have to heal yourself before you can like heal other big things, right? Or like putting your oxygen mask on yourself before you help other people. And like I think that's true. Like we all need to do a lot of our own deeper healing, and like that's what music has done for me in these past like 4 years, as I've been like digging into releasing and recording songs. But I feel like now it is shifting more towards this like collective, like really pouring my energy out into community and into the world. And I really want to use my voice to make an impact and get people to like, yeah, just care, or like find something that matters to them and to care about.
Love that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a ramble, but I get you asked about something, and then it reminded me about like all these things that I care about. So
Hey, that's where you're coming from. I mean, that's why you're active and moving energy. It's like, and I'm sure there's so many realms, like you said, there's so many vectors between all the things, like so many connections that are unseen, out of sight, perhaps dreamed, perhaps heard, perhaps smelled. You know, all the different senses, you know. I love the sense of humor, you know, how that, you know, connects in. There's so many senses to, you know, beyond the senses of, you know, there's a sense that we have to sense our senses. I mean, that's amazing, right?
how many senses do we really have? Because it's definitely more than 6.
Yeah, or 5 or whatever they say it is. And
Yeah. No, I think we have probably 23.
That's a good number. Yeah. I mean, I could think about it, you know, like a sense of respect. You know, there's a lot of them, you know. Sense of curiosity. Absolutely. I mean, whoa. There's probably 23 categories that have 23 different forms of like a sense of curiosity. I'm really curious about that.
We're going to have to write this down as a side quest.
Yeah, if any listeners have any answers about that, please let us know. Thank you. Yeah, we're very...
I'm telling you, though. You ever just get, like, a little tingle?
I get a tingle all the time. Sometimes it's just so tingly sometimes, and I just can't believe it. But then I just know. Some things we just know. We just know them.
If you know, you know. Just know.
Yeah. If you don't know and you're really curious still, we'll let you know if you can hear us.
And if you don't know, ask. Because if you never ask, the answer is always no.
No. The answer is
I think this is too many no's.
Yeah, that's an old elfism. There is no wrong way, and if there is, that's wrong.
Only
yeah. Okay, what are you guys doing? Farm up. So yeah, what are some of your current projects? I know on your link tree that people can connect to, there's the Innocence Project. I'm curious about the Innocence Project, and that's definitely, like, it even says take action on the link tree. So when you go to it, there's a lot of information there, and I'm really curious, like, what your connection is with the Innocence Project. It's a beautiful name for the, you know, the group too.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I don't have any specific connection with the Innocence Project per se, other than just, again, like, when I talk about, like, wanting to use whatever little platform I have to be able to talk about issues that are important to me and that matter. Like, this is just something that I'm trying to do in that sense, to, like, it's literally so easy to just, like, sign a petition, and I think it's like, you know, sometimes we just get, like, bogged down in thinking that, like, nothing we do matters, or, like, little small actions don't matter, but, like, they really do. And I think just taking a little bit of time to learn something or consider someone else's perspective, like, is just so, it's so important to, like, I don't know, remind us of reasons we should be grateful for our own life, and, like, reasons or opportunities we do have to take action and use our voice. And just, like, seeing Marcellus Williams in the news and hearing about that story, that really just, like, hit for some reason. I think I did take a class, like one of my first classes in college, and it was just talking about, it was a philosophy class and like learning about morals and values and the difference between the two. And we talked a lot about just the death penalty, and it was something that I hadn't really considered before or hadn't thought a lot about. And I think I actually maybe was even like pro death penalty, just, you know, thinking about it. But that was because I hadn't really learned a lot about it. And the more I did learn in the class, and like actually learning that there's so many people that are in prison that are falsely incarcerated, and the whole justice system as well, just really being geared to not serve specific populations, like people that are incarcerated. And I mean the prison system too, like school to prison pipelines, and just there's a lot of racial bias, and it's not a system that really is working. And I think my eyes were like completely opened to that reality in that class, and it just like, yeah, just shows how, like, if you take a little bit of time to learn or like care about something, you can really have your whole like perspective shifted, and it can change the way you think about the world. It can change the way you make art, and just, I mean, thinking about having all of your rights and your freedoms stripped away from you when like you were innocent, like that's one of the worst things. I don't know, I can really, you know, there are a lot of bad things in the world, but I mean, there's so many people that are facing that reality. And this was just a resource that I found that I felt like they were doing good work, and had some good like educational resources. And it's, yeah, like the things that make like action easy to take action. And yeah, I think I want to try to continue to, like, I only want to continue to grow on that idea, like really speaking out about issues. And I don't know, sometimes it has felt like, if I'm being honest, just like unnatural, or I don't know how to like navigate doing that as an artist. And I think it's interesting, like we don't, like a lot of artists that are like, you know, big in the industry, they don't like speak out on really like political, like, you know, big issues. I mean, a lot do, but I think there's just like an interesting culture around kind of like a separation between that, which I think is changing. There's a lot of like grassroots like artists and people, you know, that share these same mindsets of wanting to bridge the two. But yeah, just in like mainstream culture more so, I think. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but that's a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel that there has been a pattern of musicians, artists, poets, dreamers, you know, like looking at the situations of the world and wanting to take action with them. And a lot of times that music is like a vessel that brings people together to action. And, you know, that action can go out in so many different ways, you know, you know, and some musicians aren't always perhaps as mindful on what they're doing with that anyway. You know, like, and some of them like very much so are, and, you know, creating lots of different actions towards lots of different ends. And, you know, I think you sharing about the Innocence Project, you know, bringing that to mind, it's definitely a thing that perhaps people who aren't in prison don't often sit back and think about, you know, think about how many people could be, you know, it could be you, it could be me. Any day somebody could just come and lock you up And, it's a weird system, our justice system, where there is a concept that if you buy a really good lawyer, that you'll be okay. And, that can go against somebody prosecuting against you as well, too. And, even knowing that, where some of these prison system issues probably come from is that it's a privately owned prison system. It's a prison system infused into capitalism society. And, they need to keep their numbers, their cells filled, all the different things, and to make money. And, I know, like, some people are capitalists, some people are socialists, some people are this or that or the other thing. I'm more of like, let's be present in the middle of this jam, this song, that we're creating in life right now as we're all spinning around the earth. And, let's figure out how to hybridize things. Maybe our prison systems shouldn't be involved in the capitalism. Maybe that should be a little bit more socialist thing, that's like curated by the people for real. And, and for the people for sure too, so like the father rapers and things like that can be, put somewhere safe perhaps. There's there is definitely some reason for a prison system of some sort with the 8 billion people that are now inhabiting the planet. Which is that's twice as many people on the planet as there was in the time in which I was born. And that just blows my mind. So? I mean, that's what they say on the internet too. How do I know?
Oh, well, you're in elf years. I forgot.
Oh yeah, in elf years, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, that's actually what in my work that I'm doing that's not music. I am helping to educate around human population growth and how that's connected to a lot of different social and environmental problems that come up. And the thing I like about that work is that it really does span all of the issues from, women's health and reproductive rights and access to birth control and abortion, to just the legislation that goes into it, but also the environmental side and how it impacts it in so many different ways with wildlife and sanitation and just health, and there's all these ripple effects. And I think that having people on the planet can definitely mean good solutions and good ideas, but it's also just we've been growing so rapidly, which is, I think, it has been a reflection of just ever since the Industrial Revolution, this whole idea of mindset, just everything's fast paced, and then everything's industrialized and corporatized, and you have all these businesses. And going back to the prison system, it literally is a business, for profit. And I think there's that just reflects the whole kind of culture of where we've come to with some of that. And I would love to see obviously we need to have not killers and dangerous people running around in the street, but in so many cases it should be rehabilitation, not incarceration. And just I'd love to see a government that just supports its people more. But I think again, going back to it gives me hope in communities when I come to spaces where like-minded people do gather, and I'm I don't necessarily think I want to live on a commune, but there is some balance, and there is something to be said for that community reliance, and the ways that we can come together to push ideas and to make change happen, whether that's with social or environmental issues. And yeah, it's powerful when people come together and have good intentions.
Yeah. Love that. I love like the way you like got like a very innocent sound and said like in a really sweet way, I wish the government did more to take care of the people.
It's just a small ask, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've always been intrigued, you know, by presidents over the decades of elf life that have come out and, you know, promised all these jobs and different things, and I'm always looking around like, where are the meaningful jobs? Currently, yeah. I'm like seeing people put out strange videos about how their town's been like ruined or something, and they show videos of like amazing graffiti spray paint artwork and people hanging out on the streets together, and I'm like, well, that looks great. And you know, meanwhile, like they're wanting to have these like swept off, like leaf blown environments where all the stuff's made out of new things from the hardware store that are known in the state of California to cause cancer. And you know, it's like there's just a lot of like vision sequences out here, and I think there has been such a disconnect from nature that it's really hard to see sometimes the beauty that is already here currently that we have to work with. Like we don't need to make more bottles. We don't need to make more windows and all these kinds of things, you know? It's like we don't need to make a lot of things that we feel like we need to go have people entrepreneur businesses for. Like, let's go have a new drink and create more bottles or something, you know? And like, I get it, you know, like you know, we got to have patience, you know, as we all move through the times. But, you know, there's so many bottles already, and there's so many windows already that are just getting thrown away. And there's so many like non-toxic like things that we can work with, like clay and straw and sand to build structures and spaces and artwork and all kinds of things. I'm so inspired right now by that. I just have to tell you. You can tell
absolutely. I mean, I have so many thoughts. Like, I think first, I mean, just having worked on urban farms before, like that, you get scrappy with that. You're in spaces that are like less than an acre, and you're kind of working with, like in the case of one of the farms that I worked at, it was like on land of like, it used to be tennis courts, and so they really had to work with the land and just what was given there and rebuilding the soil, but like just being so shocked at how much can grow in a space that you wouldn't think would be a farm, but like just nature is so abundant. And when you realize that things do really want to grow and all they need is just a little bit of sun and water and help from human or elf friends, then it's just, you start to realize how much nature does provide for us, and we don't need to be sucked. I think they want, like, they want us to buy the new iPhone every year, or they want us to buy presents at Christmas, and there's just like all this consumer culture. I feel like we kind of forget just what it even means to like give a meaningful gift or spend quality time, and those are sustainable things too. And just the societies that we currently live in and like the structure of them. I think about this with like suburbs, because I grew up a lot in the suburbs, but it's like everyone has a car. Well, if everyone has a car and they need to drive it to work, then, you know, they're ending up spending money on gas and money on car insurance and repairs. Yep. And it's kind of sucking you into this lifestyle where now you're working to like be able to afford these commodities that you don't like really need, or if you lived in a city, then you can take public transport. Like, thank goddess for public transport. Best thing ever, truly. I'm so tickled by it now that I live in a city where I can just easily hop on the metro and get places, or ride my bike. And riding bikes, let me just tell you, gives you so much serotonin. Like, it's so good to just remember that, like, walking fills our cup in natural ways, and sunlight on our faces. Like, we are no different than these seeds that need water and sun and a little bit of love to grow. So yeah, I'm kind of having some inspired, radical, shifting thoughts as well, and especially just because I just came back from a music festival, and the energy is, always amplified after that. But it's like, yes, we can make change. We can do this. We are creating ripple effects, and our actions do inspire others when we follow our passions and our heart and live authentically with our intentions that are going to help others in the world. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating the ways in which I'm experiencing society, like with the example of the cell phone. I remember my last cell phone that I had, I was in New York City, and I was asked if I was Amish because my phone was like some old style phone. I thought that was very fascinating, and I did end up getting a new one. I remember shortly after that, not just because somebody said that, but because, it was starting to not function very well with anything. So, of course, like, I had the thing long enough that the phone service wanted to offer me, like a new plan or whatever if I got a new one. So I was like, okay, I'll get a new one for free. And, so like after that, everybody was like, oh, wow, look, you have the XL production, you're snarting, and I'm just like, whoa, this is interesting. It's like,
you're in the club now.
Yeah. And then now where it's at, it's like, it's once again an ancient thing, the sticker I had put on it, it's like all worn off, but it works. So it's like, why don't you go get another one? It's like they're gonna keep having these new ones, and like new ones, and how dependent do I want to be on this and that? Like how can I take each day in action to, not be dependent on all these things that drain us, of our energy, and like make us feel like we're not good enough unless we have the best one. But I can't go make a cell phone out of like the dirt and sticks in my yard. It's like why am I dependent on this? Like, when I can communicate to so many people and creatures and entities with, just taking my shoes off and putting them on the ground and being like, whoa, boom, I'm part of the Gaia body, it's all one, giant ecosystem, and I can communicate into it all, and there's information everywhere. So, it's like, it's ongoing kind of like feel, finding the way through all that. And it's like, in music, I definitely feel like, to kind of go back into music a little bit, as the music dies back in the background, hey, DJ Elves, cut some of that, some of that dirt wire or something. Come on, get into it.
Dirt wire, shout out.
So, I am one of these people. I definitely love having music around. It brings me into a present moment. And when I'm creating music or conversation in music, it definitely brings me more present. And in that presence, I feel connected, more than phone calls and all the things can. I don't want to say I'm like, oh, I'm good, I don't need it. But, it's all, again, having patience as we all move through our times. Like, I kind of feel like we've just, like, gotten to the climax of the plastic era, like thousands of years from now, people look back and be like, yeah, so this is what happens when there's this much microplastic, and then it was added into our ecosystem, and like over time this is what it's turned into. Or it's so fascinating to think about. And I don't know, I just try to not be scared about any of these things, just try to like embrace it, and talk to the ancestors as well, like what did they do to keep themselves connected and in harmony with their bodies on earth. And there is a certain sense of like being afraid to touch anything because it has microplastics in it, and then there's like, how do I just embrace this and let it be part of my body and then go through so it doesn't get stuck on me. I just don't want it to get stuck on me and bioaccumulate, and there's ways to do that. And I'll just say, take your shoes off sometime, and the nature, it'll start telling you. That's my simple format of that. There's a whole nother chapter or dream situation on that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I started doing that. I've fallen off a little bit as it's gotten colder, but this was a good reminder. And I just I would take like a 1-second video every day of I would try to do a grounding practice before, like taking my shoes off and just like taking 3 deep breaths and like closing my eyes, and then like made a compilation video of like me walking, so like it was just like this long video of me walking nowhere and everywhere. But yeah, I mean, just the instant shift that you notice, like dropping into that presence. I mean, it all connects. I think it literally all connects between like our hormone disbalances and cyclical living and the screen time with our phones. And it's something like I want to get better about, to just like not being on my phone. And I go back and forth in this like debate of like, do I delete social media? And like ultimately I want to be able to like have it as a tool and not use it. But it is like finding that balance between like, this is a good thing, it's making me feel connected to people, and I mean it does facilitates conversations that otherwise couldn't really happen. But at the same time, like you're saying, just the technology that we had before would it would just make us closer when you don't have the option maybe to like text someone, but you have to pick up the phone and call. And like, that's just something like people don't really do anymore. But like the value of having that more like face to face or just person to person interactions, I think that's one thing like that helps me feel present, is I think being with another person when I'm not like tempted to just go on my phone and like be super not present. But it can be hard, like just even focusing. I think the more you like start to give your attention into these things, at least for me, I notice like it's a little bit easier to be distracted. And I think it's also like, it's ultimately good to have grace with yourself and just realize that like, we literally have brains and bodies that are designed to just be like foraging in the jungle and like, sleeping and like making connections, but and maybe like fighting off like a threat or two. But they were not designed to handle like all of the stimulus just in this modern day world. And so like giving ourselves some grace and just trying to do what we can to regulate our nervous systems, and starting with just giving that space to be more present is good. But it can be a lot sometimes. So definitely I'm always just tempted to like escape into the woods.
Yeah, let's go ride bikes. Come on.
Yes.
Let's go deep out into the forest and ride our bikes all the way. Even if it takes 8 hours from where we at, that's 8 hours of sunshine and riding bikes.
Yeah,
come on. Maybe we could even listen to a Wake the Farm Up show. They always talking about going face free and listen to an audio show. Yeah, it might take you somewhere while you're raking leaves or whatever. Why are you raking leaves? I don't know, just humans do that. They rake them. Yeah.
And you should just let them decompose too. You don't need to rake them. Just...
I am Reiki Master level 28. Next, I will be Reiki Master level 29.
Oh snap, we got a master up in here.
Master.
But yeah, 8 hours of Wake the Farm Up sounds good. Let's hit this bike ride.
Yeah, I've been raking it in.
Break it up. Break it down.
Yeah, I love
Back
your
it up.
so this is some of your jams here in the background. This is Galactic Dreams, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a collab with my friend Will, Acts of God music that we just worked on this project a couple years ago, and honestly it's not even finished, but I did play it at a little festival last weekend, and I was just feeling the funky weird.
Cool.
I just want to make more music that's funky and weird and silly,
It feels good. And then we got let's dip into a little slice, a little more SWATAA. Yeah. Now we're gonna dip into a little. This is Lotus Dreams.
Oh, this is Lotus Roots.
Lotus Roots. I got the dreams thing going because you got some dreams happening in the places you go. It's very dreamy and the kind of dream that you're awake in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't
Like
want
a lucid dream.
Yeah, you're moving and you can feel it, and it's you're. All right, now we're on a carpet that's flying over top of some really pretty clouds.
Yeah. That's the. I just, what can I say?
Oh,
I want to inspire people to dream really, really big. And, manifestation is such a buzzword.
Look at all
and it's got a lot of...
There's a flock of Pegasus coming towards us. And the rainbow's over there.
Oh! I hope they don't fall.
Was that bubble? Were those little rainbow bubbles that came out of the back of that one?
Oh yeah, I think it was, but it was farting.
I wonder if they...
Farting rainbow bubbles.
Maybe they had some, that rainbow junk food over there.
Yeah.
Should we go over there and look?
Yeah.
There's some, is that a little valley over there? It looks all green, and there's, some, durian trees and some, hot water. Is that hot water with steam coming out? Are those pixies down in there?
There's a purple monkey flying past my window, and it's holding just this really strange piece of fruit.
What does it look like? I like strange fruit.
The fruit looks like no other fruit I've ever seen before. This thing is rainbow purple, kaleidoscope skin of the scales of a fish, but it's also spinning and exploding into itself.
Whoa. I want to try it. Does the monkey look like it's enjoying it?
Yes, it just kind of exploded also, but that means all of the fruit is raining down onto the land, and now it's even better because more people can eat it easily. So
wow, what a very interesting seed dispersal method.
Yes, no one was hurt in the process of it though, don't worry.
That's good.
The monkey was AI.
Yeah, I could see it folded up into a little microchip and fell on the ground, and some little micro creatures came along and they thought it was a chip, so they went and dipped it into some little bowl of some kind of salsa, but it didn't look like salsa. It was made up of more rectangular little shaped cubicle, like I don't know, more like a meteorite crystal that I've seen before or something, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Actually, I think I saw that just yesterday.
Just yesterday?
In my bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, really? In the bathroom next to the soap bar, like, but your toothbrush is like tucked up off the side so nobody splashes their hands on it after they like wash off their like filthy hands from, you know, using shredded up trees to wipe across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't use any trees around here. Everyone just has to wipe their hands on their shirts.
Oh.
That's real.
It's like their shirts that they're wearing currently, so that way that when you come up to the group later, perhaps the sense of smell would kind of let people know what you've been eating and where you've been and what part of the earth you've been through and what kind of fruits you've had and what seeds you're dispersing.
Absolutely. It's all about the storytelling. And, you know, when they say show, don't tell, that's exactly what they mean.
Show enough.
Yeah, just showing off. Just stunting.
Yeah, I really like this lotus dream. There's lotus flowers like opening all up around now. They're like all of a sudden I'm in like a little canoe and it's like golden, but it's like it was like grown that way.
Yeah, no, this track is fun. I like kind of rap on it a little bit when I sing it in shows.
Cool. Do you want to?
And it's all about having fun.
Hit it. You want to hit it?
Yeah, I feel like it might be a little delayed, but
What the farm?
I'll sing it. Let's see. Let me listen.
All right. Yeah, we're like.
Oh, what I could have been to you had you not been so close to me. Suffocating, fill my lungs with oxygen respirations, and then you take it. Fill my lungs into temptation, so better yet give me salvation, dreams into the sea. I can't really hear it. Hey, maybe it looks better than I ever been, but I can't let it go, cause I've been after every show, trying to chase the gold now, we're turning into something sour, tell me where the hell's my flower. Yeah, I know, like, I've been stressing way too high, I just need to free my mind, like, I can let the time pass by, yeah. Yeah. Alright, yeah. I don't know how that transmission came through.
Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, like I need to figure out how to make it so that the caller and he can hear the sound just as much as me, because I thought I did turn it up pretty loud, and I did, you know, I'm just like turning it into it, you know, learning how this whole instrument flow works and stuff, and it's just fine. And I'm finding it. It's good. And, you know, we're kicking it.
I think I can.
That was beautiful.
I can
love
hear the music when you're playing it, but when I speak, I can only hear myself. Like I can't hear the music; it goes away.
Like you have one of these like modern phone things that have an automated noise gate which will shut off any extra sounds when you're talking to make sure it doesn't distort or echo back in. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
very curious on the patterns of these things. You know, I know more about how like, you know, a Virginia creeper vine is connected to the box elder maple over here, you know, more so than how these things like wire through. And it's interesting because it's like all the plants and things, you know, they all have electricity in them already, and it's already hardwired with that electrical frequency that's just right. So it's interesting, you know, that we're again, you know, going back into this loop, like we're creating these things that work a little bit slightly differently, but somehow the same, because it's like, yeah, electric. It's real.
Yeah. It is real, but like people also just like the other day someone pulled out we were doing this like story keeping thing, and they pulled out of the archive like a physical recorder, like a physical voice memo recorder, and I was just like, whoa, I don't know, never, like, I've seen one of before, but I just forgot that those existed. But I feel like that's like a nice relationship with technology that we want to have, where it's like a tool that's helpful, but it has its place, and we're not like, when things are just all so like wrapped, like our phone is like more than just our phone, it does everything, and it's all like wrapped up into one. So we're like super dependent on it. So who knows, maybe I'll just next time I inevitably lose my phone or drop it, I'll just get a flip phone.
Yeah. Wake the farm up. Yeah, SWATAA! Sally Watanabe!
You guys awake yet?
Yeah, if you want some more SWATAA, check out YouTube, SWATAA Sounds. Check out Instagram. Check out Patreon. You can get even into it, and you can connect and find ways to connect for SWATAA Sounds booking. Check us out. Right now,
yeah.
What do you got? You guys want a little bit more? I'd love a little bit more word sound from you, but maybe like before we get into word sound, can we maybe like sample one of your like more recent cuts? Infatuated Dreaming. I'm like infatuated by this little cut. You know, I just want like, yeah, everybody calm down for a second.
Aw, stop.
It's like, hey, we came on. Come on. Do we want to do this? I think so.
I think it's a go.
You know you're making it look easy when you're on your own, dancing like it's on repeat. You can feel it in your bones. I don't mind if we're just here to kill the time. Show me how to lose it. Can you move it from your mind? 'Cause you can tell I made it like that. I think you should bring it right back. It goes on and on and on as we roll the night long, and I don't think we need to backtrack.
Yeah, you can check it out. Check it out. You have to look
You'll have to stream it to hear the rest.
Yeah. It's a little elf tease.
Yeah, come on, but we want to get off. Yeah, skip it. He said no. Well, I really want to. yeah, I got it. It's wrong. No, he said to. Wait, come on, let's do this. He's gonna do it. Check out the rest of it when they
Those elves are getting into
Wow.
mischief back there.
Yeah, they got a little crazy. They're crawling all over. What did they? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What are your, currents right now? How are you feeling? You feeling good? Is there anything else that you want to share with the elves and I?
Ooh, man, eat some vegetables and fruits, and support your local farmers while you do that, I would say, is probably what I want to leave people with. I think we've given you a lot to think about in this conversation, probably, maybe, hopefully. But I don't know. I feel like for me, I'm currently in a space where I'm just grateful to be doing what I'm doing and not really sure where that road will keep going, but I hope to keep playing live shows and collaborating and releasing music. And it makes me happy when I see other people that are also following their dreams, whether it be in art or music or love or life. So I think the more that we all collectively can dream towards the future that we want to see, I think the faster we can get to that reality. And I've seen in my own life how it's really possible to go after and get what you want, with patience, of course. But yeah, I think there's a lot of there's a lot of good in the world. There's a lot of things to look forward to. So I'm looking forward to romping around again with the elves.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. And just doing what we do, getting down.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much, and definitely look forward to any collaborations and crossing paths and weaving stories in life. And it's going to be really wonderful to share this episode, and look forward to adventures and catching recordings together again and doing other things, and bringing things to people's minds. Hopefully our listeners are even inspired to share and take those little stands on little actions and find those bridges between their passions and their creations in life to actions that are greater than than themselves.
Yes. Cross-pollination, baby. That's where it's at.
Yeah, now I'm elfing out a little bit. Whoa. Okay, they're crawling on me again. I can't help it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, you gotta drive the spaceship back. Don't elf out too much, though.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. I said one more time. I got it. I got into it. They said to go listen to it later. You can't stop me. What do you think about this?
Get over it. You're gonna have to get a new project with the elves if you're gonna keep doing that.
So why don't you just get back on this little carpet ride and just cruise out and dream.
Oh yeah, kick back.
Wake the farm up and dream.
Beautiful.
Infatuated dreaming. I'm dreaming about playing infatuated dreaming right now.
These elves cracking me up.
I know. I deal with them all the time around here. I'm always cleaning up after them, taking care of their little shoes, making sure there's no wax in their ears, pulling it out.
like the herbs. We mix them up, we dried them from the earth. They come up from the ground. I don't know who plants them sometimes. Sometimes they hook onto my pants and take a little ride and hitchhike to a new little patch where they come up, and then the next year or two they be coming up and then sticking onto my dog and then cruising over to somewhere else, and where the dog rubs it off onto a log and then it falls down inside a little piece of moss, and that's just where that seed's been tossed. So it comes up, and next thing you know, I'm eating some dandelion greens while I'm petting my pup.
Woo!
That's what's up.
That's what's up. God damn, that was fire.
It's not proprietary. You don't need a special wristband. You don't need to get a special pass to go outside and last. You can make it. There's so much information around to be found. Maybe there's some special oil in this seed. Maybe not. But it tastes good and it feels like what you need. So why not? You know? So we could overthink it and calibrate it and break all the little tiny things into their tiny little pieces until it's all mixed up into a little pile of like this is that and that's that and this is this. But then when you step back again, it's a big weave of life. It's a big giant basket. We all sit inside it.
Just basket. Gonna get this harvest. Plant the seeds and watch them grow, yeah. Smoke some herb, then you don't know, yeah. Where your reality gon' show. Everything is gonna work if you just let it flow, yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Watch us grow.
Wake the farm up.
Damn, you got the bars.
Shut the farm up.